Now to officially start our meeting, Commissioner Batchor, would you lead us in Pledge Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first item on our agenda this morning is approval of the regular session minutes from April the 12th, 2021. Board, we've received these in advance. Any corrections or additions to that agenda session? If there are none, could I call for a motion, please?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. This morning, Mr. Eichel, do we have Julian Nisbet with us with the report?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
All right. Julian, are you on? Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us today.
So just a quick update on where we're at. In Clermont County, our current COVID-19 case rates per 100,000 over the 14-day period, we are at 107 this morning. So we had kind of flattened out there. We've been holding the 110s, the 120s, so we're still kind of within that range, but hoping to continue to see that downward trend. If we can get down to under 100, you would actually see that hopefully in the Ohio public health alert system that we would actually drop down out of red, which we have not been since last fall. So as far as vaccine is going, we have about 34% of our Clermont County residents have started their vaccine series. So it's almost 70,000, and then 21% have completed. So a little over 44,000. With that, we're pretty much in line with the state, just a few percentage points running behind on that. I think a lot of questions, comments, concerns coming up over the halt for the Johnson & Johnson vaccine that we were made aware of yesterday. So we did receive a small quantity of Johnson & Johnson. We did a clinic about 4 weeks ago and administered the majority of those doses. We were using a small number of them for our homebound population in order to do that, which we have halted those vaccinations with J&J. We are continuing to do them, though. We're just switching over to Pfizer. The majority of our allotment all comes in Pfizer. All of our clinics up at UC Clermont will be administering Pfizer vaccine. With that, and then we are also going to start working with our schools here over the next coming weeks to offer some clinics if they're kind of amenable to trying to reach out as we move to other locations around the county, and then working to get to some of that younger population vaccinated. So that's all I have, unless you have questions for me.
Any questions this morning, Board?
Julianne, is there any follow-up with those on the J&J? I know that seems, and you know better than I do, if someone was going to have a challenge with one of those vaccinations, it would come, does it look like what, weeks or months, a month or so after the actual injection?
So it can actually be a couple weeks. And so there are people who are kind of being, told to kind of just monitor for any symptoms that they may have, if they have, headaches, problems, difficulty breathing, any other issues that they may be having. They do need to follow up with their primary care physician immediately. Obviously, if it's an emergency situation, call 911 or go to the emergency department with that. But, we have always had vaccine monitoring programs in place for all vaccines, not just for COVID. So the majority of time that there are kind of issues or contraindications that occur to a vaccine, it's reported through a system called VAERS, which is the Vaccine Adverse Reporting System on it, and anyone can report that. So a lot of times people will contact us back if we were the person who administered. We are required to report, but any other provider who is aware of an adverse event can report through that. And then, basically those are the cases that you're seeing, the FDA, CDC is starting to look at. There is an emergency meeting ASAP to kind of review the cases that have occurred with those J&J cases. We are not aware of any of them that came from individuals that we have vaccinated at this time.
And also I understand that a reaction is very, very rare. I was watching the news this morning. Did they say that that's very small percentage out of 6 or 7 million that were actually administered?
Yeah, there's 7 cases under review that we are aware of. Now, there may be more as, information continues to be collected, but there are 7 specific cases that they're looking at. With that, I think it's always, we talk about that overabundance of precaution. And, I don't think it ever hurts to kind of pause and take a look at those things and make sure before we move forward with it. But just want to make sure the public's aware it will not impact our vaccination clinics in Clermont County. We do have lots of open appointments on it. We're starting to see our appointments kind of slow as those are filling up. So we have lots of appointments available up at UC Clermont. And then again, we'll probably be looking at doing some different locations throughout the county coming up in the next few weeks.
Thank you.
Great, thank you, Julian.
Thank you.
Moving on with our agenda this morning, there's been a consent agenda under item C that has been approved to the board. We received this in advance. Are there any corrections or additions to the consent agenda?
None.
Hearing none, could I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Item D is our non-consent agenda, starts on page 2, item number 4. And this is the Clermont County Resolution number 053-21. It's a recommendation of the Board of County Commissioners to adopt this resolution to approve payments to vendors in the total amount of $1,053,266.13 as set forth in the BCC Approval Invoice Report Card for checks dated April 14, 2021, BCC directed prepaid invoices reports and or the procurement card transaction report as presented by the county auditor on April the 12th, 2021, and further authorizing the county auditor to issue warrants for same pursuant to section 319.16 of the Ohio Revised Code. Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Item number 5. Tim Dick, good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Item number 5 is a recommendation of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to authorize Timothy Dick, Director of the Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services, to execute the Memorandum of Understanding by and between the Clermont County Department of Job and Family Services and the Clermont County Fleet Maintenance Department for the provision of fleet maintenance service for DJFS vehicles for a total annual sum not to exceed $40,000, effective June the 1st, 2021, and to continue in full force and effect unless terminated by either party for any reason after providing 30 days written notice pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions specified therein. Commissioners, we currently lease our vehicles through Enterprise and also have our fleet maintenance program through Enterprise. So the request today is to transition that to maintenance under Clermont County Fleet Maintenance Department.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 5 presented by Mr. Tim Dick, County Director of the Board of Job and Family Services. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. And Tim, just want to let you know we're on blue today in honor of Child Abuse Prevention Month. Thank you for all you and your staff do. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Item number 6, Clermont County Sheriff's Department. Captain Camphouse, are you with us this morning?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Recommendation of Robert S. Leahy, County Sheriff, with the concurrence of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to execute a contract for law enforcement services by and between the Clermont County Board of Commissioners, the Clermont County Sheriff, and the Board of Monroe Township Trustees, 2828 State Route 222, Bethel, Ohio, for the provision of one contract deputy. Well, I just noticed this is incorrect. It actually says Washington Township in the minutes. It should say Monroe Township. Can we make that correction?
I believe ours does say Monroe Township. I believe we're corrected here, so that's good.
Okay, good.
Thank you for that.
Jim set me up. Annual amount of $50,000, $65.37 for the first year, 52,209.38 for the second year, 54,118.33 for the third year. One vehicle in the annual amounts of $8,345.74 calendar year 2021, $3,612.61 calendar year 2022, $3,173.25 for calendar year 2023, plus 50% of the fuel costs relative thereto uniform equipment replacement and dry cleaning in the amount of $241.67 for 2021, $248.92 for 2022, $256.38 for 2023, and 50% of the cost associated with one MDC laptop air card for an annual amount of $271.02, and 50% of the fee for a bullet-resistant vest in the annual amount of $92, effective for a period of 3 years commencing April 1st, 2021, pursuant to the terms and conditions set forth therein and in compliance with the Section 311.29 of the Ohio Revised Code.
Board, you heard the reading of item number 6. It's a recommendation of Robert S. Leahy, County Sheriff, as presented by Captain Camphouse this morning. And this is for the contents of the contract for law enforcement services between the Clermont County Law Enforcement Services and the Monroe Township trustees. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes. Thank you, Captain.
Thank you.
Item number 7, County Engineer's Office.
Hi, Doug Royer from the County Engineer's Office. Item number 7 is a recommendation of Jeremy Evans, County Engineer, with concurrence of Tom Heigl, County Administrator, to award the bid for project RS-0221 relative to the 2021 road resurfacing project located in various townships and the village of Williamsburg, pursuant to the plans and specifications therefore to Barrett Paving out of Middletown, Ohio, for their lowest and best bid received on March 11, 2021, in the amount of $3,545,699.01, and to execute the contract relative thereto, pursuant to and compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein, and a four-state award of bid, and contingent upon the release of the required purchase order.
Board, you heard the reading of item number 7 is presented by Doug Royer of the County Engineer's Office. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Hey, Doug, what all entities joined in that particular contract?
The county engineers is at I'm going to give you some round numbers. The county engineers is at 3.1 million. Batavia Township is at 250,000. Williamsburg Township's at 100,000, and the village of Williamsburg is about 100,000.
Thank you.
And we did a previous agreements with them for those amounts.
Great, thank you.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes. Thank you. Item number 8, County Engineers Department.
Morning, Craig Reisner, County Engineers. Item number 8 is a recommendation of Jeremy Evans, County Engineer, with concurrence of Thomas Heigl, County Administrator, to accept the following permanent easements granted and conveyed to the County of Clermont for roadway purposes necessary for project JA 2320 for Marathon Eaton Road Bridge C82 2.83 located in Jackson Township, to authorize payment as compensation for the permanent easements and right-of-way granted thereby and repairs relative thereto. We have 2 easements here. Both are compensation amounts of $300. It's a Robert William and Judy Cortez and Robert and Sherry Tash.
Board, you've heard the reading and the recommendation of item number 8 is presented by Craig Reisner of the County Engineer's Office. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes. Item number 9, Craig Reisner.
Item 9 is a recommendation of Jeremy Evans, County Engineer, with concurrence of Thomas Heigl, County Administrator, to adopt resolution number 054-21 to convert combined performance maintenance bond in the amounts listed below for the construction of streets in the stated lengths within the following subdivision in Batavia Township from the performance bond phase to the maintenance bond phase effective as of the date of conversion thereof. So Amelia Park 2 subdivision, section 11. And the performance amount was $25,830, and the maintenance amount will be $10,000.
Board, you heard the reading and recommendation of County Engineers presented by Craig Reisner for item number 9. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes. Item number 10, Craig Reisner.
Item 10 is a recommendation of Jeremy Evans, County Engineer, with concurrence of Thomas Heigl, County Administrator, to authorize the release of a 3-year performance bond for sidewalks in the amount as as follows for the following subdivision in Miami Township. This is Pine Bluffs subdivision, section 3, and we're releasing a performance bond for sidewalks, $5,950.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 10, recommendation of the county engineer, and this is presented by Craig Reisner. And do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes, thank you, Craig. Item number 11.
Good morning, I'm Lyle Bloom, Director with the Clermont County Water Resources Department, and item number 11 is a recommendation to authorize Claire B. Corcoran, President of the Board of County Commissioners, to execute change order number 1 to the contract with Utter Construction Incorporated out of Bethel, Ohio. This is previously ratified by the board on April 29, 2020 for project number 6402-60173 relative to the Branch Hill Guinea Road Sewer Petition Project located in Miami Township and represents an increase in the amount of $58,625 for a total adjusted contract price to date of $183,311.86, as well as a non-compensable extension of time of 300 calendar days for the completion thereof for a revised contract completion date of June 11th, 2021 for additional installations and or modifications thereto as defined therein and contingent upon the release and receipt of the purchase order. This work is associated with differing site conditions. The contractor encountered a lot of groundwater, which was not indicated in the original soil boring reports. And then the time extension is not necessary for them to get in and correct the work and do the necessary repairs.
Board, you heard the reading of item number 11 is presented by Lyle Bloom, Director of Utilities, Clermont County Water Resources Department. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes. Item number 12.
Number 12 is a recommendation to accept the following grant of sewer easement with rights of reentry for repair and replacement that will be granted and conveyed to Clermont County for utility purposes of constructing, operating, maintaining, repairing, replacing, removing, or reinstalling sewer utility lines, pumping equipment, manholes, and all incidental fixtures required for the transportation of sewage in, on, under, and across the property of the grantors. This is for project number 6402-60116 relative to the Newtonsville Collection System Assessment Project located in Wayne Township, and further to authorize the county auditor to remit payment to the grantors in the amounts as outlined and as indicated on the settlement sheet as compensation for the permanent easement and rights of way that are granted and associated repairs. This easement, remaining easement, makes 42 of the 44 easements that are necessary for the project.
Great. Item number 12, you've heard the reading recommendation of Lyle Bloom. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor.
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes. Item number 13.
Item 13 is a recommendation to adopt resolution number 055-21, resolving to determine to make improvements relative to the construction, operation, and maintenance of the James E. Sauls Drive transmission main project located in the village of Batavia, Batavia Township, and Williamsburg Township as set forth in Exhibit A and designated as project number 6401-60181 and in conformance with the detailed plans, specifications, and estimates of cost and financing, all of which shall be paid from one or more of any combination of the Waterworks Capital Improvement Fund, any portion of any federal or state grant or loan should such become available, and or by the issuance of notes or bonds pursuant to section 133.08 of the Ohio Revised Code, and payable from revenues derived from water rates and charges levied for the operation of the Clermont County Waterworks System, and subsequent thereto to approve the request to advertise for bids pursuant to the plans and specifications, and to authorize the clerk of the board to place a legal notice in a newspaper of general circulation on Thursday, April 22nd, 2021, schedule a non-mandatory pre-bid meeting on Thursday, April 29th, 2021 at 10 a.m. with bids to be received until 2:00 p.m. local time on Thursday, May 13th, 2021 in the Office of the Board of County Commissioners, 101 East Main Street, Batavia, where they will be publicly opened and read aloud shortly thereafter. And the legal notice will also be posted on the county's website. So this project consists of the construction of approximately 8,612 feet of 16-inch ductile iron water main that will extend along James E. Sauls Drive from Batavia Road to Half Acre Road. The engineer's estimate for the project is $1,513,810.
Board, you've heard the reading and the recommendation of item number 13, presented by Lyle Bloom. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion, Board? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes, thank you, Lyle. Good morning to you.
Thank you.
Item number 14, Sherry Smar.
Good morning. I have a recommendation of Michael McNamara, Director, Department of Community and Economic Development, with the concurrence of Greg Bickford, Assistant County Administrator, to execute a contract for services by and between the Board of Commissioners of Clermont County, Ohio, and Housing Opportunities Made Equal of Greater Cincinnati, located at 2400 Reading Road, Suite 118, Cincinnati, Ohio 45202, for fair housing services for Clermont County, Ohio, in accordance with the scope of services identified in Exhibit A attached thereto and made a part thereof, in concert with the Clermont County Community Development Block Grant Program for fiscal year 2020, in an annual amount not to exceed $15,000, effective July 1, 2020 through June 30th, 2021, with an automatic renewal to said contract upon the adoption of each consecutive year's annual action plan and upon mutual agreement thereof, for 4 additional one-year terms in an annual amount not to exceed $15,000 through the current consolidated plan program that ends June 30th, 2025, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein, and contingent upon the release of the purchase order.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 14 with the recommendation to execute this contract for services as recommended by Michael McNamara, Director, Department of Community and Economic Development, presented by Sherry Smar. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sherry.
Item number 15.
Hi, good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning,
I
Terry.
am Terry Brandenburg. I'm with the Human Resources Department. This morning, I have a recommendation of Sandra Tahat, Human Resources Administrator, with the concurrence of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to amend Appendix 4.09 of the Clermont County Personnel Policy and Procedure Manual with respect to the Clermont County Classification Plan as outlined below in an Exhibit A attached thereto, and to be made a part thereof effective upon approval, and further to authorize the update of the appropriate internet links and appendices accordingly.
Board, you heard the reading of item number 15 is presented by Terry Brandenburg with the recommendation of Sandra Tahat to amend Appendix 4.09 of the Clermont County Personnel and Policy Procedure Manual. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes, thank you, Terry. Item number 16. Lyle Bloom.
Yes, I'm back. I have a recommendation to adopt a revised table of organization for the Water Resources Department, and this is to reflect the 2 full-time positions titled Design Engineer, class number 79245. Pay range C is positions that can be filled either as Design Engineer 1, class number 79245, pay range C, or Design Engineer 2, class number 79246, pay range D, and to add a full-time Design Engineer 1 or Design Engineer 2 as outlined in Exhibit A, effective upon approval, and further to authorize the update of the appropriate internet links and appendices accordingly. So that this will add that additional position and make the necessary changes. The big difference between the Design Engineer 1 and Design Engineer 2 is the Design Engineer 2 has a professional engineer's license.
Board, you heard the reading of item number 16 with the recommendation to adopt this revised table of organization for the Water Resources Department. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Item number 17, Lyle Bloom.
Item number 17 is a recommendation to adopt the revised table of organization for the Water Resources Department as outlined below, effective upon approval, and further to authorize the update of the appropriate internet links and appendices accordingly. So we're going to add an additional chemist position, which is class number 69213, pay range 16. And then we have an existing chemist position that will be removed, and we're going to have to change the effective date that's in the minutes. So I'd like to reflect that. It will be removed effective July 30th of this year. We have a chemist currently in that position that will be retiring after many years of service with the county. And so we're going to add an additional chemist and provide some opportunity for overlap and cross-training before the employee's retirement.
Hey, Lyle, quick
Yes.
question. On the second part, removing that chemist, should that pay range be 15?
No, they should both be 16. We earlier in, I think it was item 15, we changed the pay range for that to pay range 16
Okay.
for the chemist position.
Okay. Let's get a clarification on that first. Mr. Eigel?
Okay, so we're removing we're adding a chemist at a pay range 16, and we're removing a chemist at a pay range 16, effective 7/30.
Correct. We
Okay.
will have two chemists on the TO for a couple months or maybe 6 weeks once we get the one hired. And then once that employee retires that's in the existing position, that we will not refill that vacancy and we'll remove that position.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Board, you've heard the reading of item number 17 as presented by Lyle Bloom, and this is adopt a revised table of organization of the Water Resources Department. And in this reading this morning, we have corrected the date and changed it to July 30th, 2021 for 69213 Chemist 16, remove effective July 30th, 2021. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes, thank you, Lyle. Item
Thank
number
you.
Item number 18. Good morning, Emily.
Morning.
I have a recommendation of Mary K. Raines, Director, Office of Management and Budget, with the concurrence of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to resolve to approve and authorize changes in the annual appropriation resolution number 191-20 for calendar year 2021 pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code Section 5705.40 as outlined in the following table, and to authorize Linda L. Fraley, County Auditor, to properly record the same. This is 3 supplemental appropriations, all with the Law Library Resources Board. One for the regular salary for $7,000, one for fringe benefits $1,400, and the third is other expenses for $3,500. And this has to do with them taking over the training for notaries.
Board, you've heard a reading of item number 18 is presented by Emily Akers and recommended by Mary Raines as Director, Office of Management and Budget. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion this morning? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor? Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes, thank you, Emily. Good morning to you. We finished our non-consent agenda. At this time, Mr. Eigel, are there any additions to the agenda this morning?
Yes, I want the board to consider an add-on for executive session pursuant to Section 12122G1 of the Ohio Revised Code to consider the dismissal of a public employee.
Board, I need a motion at this point to add to the agenda this morning a motion, to add a motion to go into executive session pursuant to Section 121.22G1 of the Ohio Revised Code to consider the dismissal of a public employee. Do I have a motion for that addition?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Now I'll ask for a motion to go into executive session pursuant to Section 121.22G1 of the Ohio Revised Code to consider the dismissal of a public employee. Do I have that motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes, we're now going to go into executive session. We will return shortly. Thank you. We have now returned from executive session. No decisions were made in that session this morning. Now we're moving on our agenda. Any other additions this morning to the agenda?
No, ma'am.
Hearing none, we're moving to item F, which is county staff elected official discussions. Do we have any county staff this morning?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Moving to item G, member comments. Members, are there any comments this morning?
No.
Hearing none. At this time, I'd like to make a statement that the board has received a notice this morning from Judy Kasika, our clerk of the board, that she has filed for retirement. We are so very grateful for her years of service to this board, and we wish her well. At this time, Mr. Eigel, as the administrator, could you please direct our staff to prepare the appropriate personnel actions for conversations by this board this morning?
Yes, ma'am, I will do that.
Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to ask for a call for a recess for 15 minutes to allow that staff to prepare the personnel action. We will reconvene, and I would say at this time we will reconvene about 11:05. That gives us
Okay.
11:05 and back into session again. We're now in recess. Thank you very much. We are proceeding now with our meeting after being in a recess for 15 minutes. Administrator Eigel?
Yeah, Commissioners, as the board has directed, the Human Resources Department has prepared the appropriate personnel action. So for the board's consideration, we would need to add a personnel action in the Board of County Commissioners office to the agenda.
Board, could I have a motion to add a personal action into the agenda this morning?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr.
Good morning.
Howard, present the personnel action.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
As stated, this is a personnel action for the Board of County Commissioners for Judith Kasika, Clerk of the Board, termination for retirement, May 31st, 2021.
Board, you've heard the reading of and to accept the retirement of Judith Kasika as our Clerk of the Board of Clermont County Commissioners. Do I have a motion to approve and accept that retirement termination?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Thank you, Senator
Thank you,
Todd.
Senator.
Anything else on the agenda this morning? Okay, any member comments before we close? Hearing none, could I have a motion to adjourn?
Before we adjourn, I just want to say, I know I feel the same. I'm sure that all the board members do. Judy has been the clerk of this board for a long time. I just want to say thanks for her dedicated service to the Board of Clermont County Commissioners, and not only to the commissioners, but to the citizens here at Clermont County. She will be missed.
Mr. Batchelor, anything, please?
Let me just add to what Commissioner Painter just said. I've known Judy for many, many years. I didn't get to personally work with her here, but I wish her the best on her retirement. So,
Judy, if you're listening in to us this morning, a great big thank you. We are very grateful for your tremendous years of service to this county, to this Board of County Commissioners. We thank you, and with that, I will ask for continuation to adjourn this morning. Call the roll, please.
So moved.
second.
Adjournment.
Second, can I call the roll, please?
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor?
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes. Thank you for joining us today. Everybody be safe out there, and don't forget it's Child Abuse Awareness Month.